All right, guys. We will go ahead and get started. And like I said, I forgot to send a reminder out today, so we may have a small group, but that's okay. We're going to be talking specifically today about how to add Google Cloud assignments in your Canvas course. So what a Google Cloud assignment will do is it will let you use items that you already have created in your Google Drive and assign those to your students. It's going to be similar to the forced copy option that you may have had if you used Google Classroom in the past. So that is what we are doing today. All right. So I'm sharing my screen, and don't worry about like name and chat or anything like that with such a small group. Just feel free to unmute yourself. If you have a question, you can stop me at any time. And as needed, we'll stop and answer questions. And then at the end, I'll answer any questions you may have as well. Today, I'm going to show you how to make two different Google Cloud assignments. I'm going to show you one with a doc and one with a slide presentation. The steps are exactly the same, but I just want you to see both types. So again, there are other types of assignments. Last week we talked about online assignments, and that recording was shared out. And if you are interested in it, you can always email me and I'll send it to you. This week we are looking specifically at Google Cloud assignments. So if you are able to open up a browser window and go to Canvas, that would be a good idea. You don't have to. If you want to take notes, you can also just kind of take notes and jot down the steps. But a good idea would be to follow along, and you could actually mimic the steps as I do them if you wanted to. All right. And I am recording this, and I will send the recording out after. So I'm in my sandbox, just my blank sandbox. Actually, this one doesn't have anything in it except the template, which, by the way, the template is available in Commons. So if you want some kind of design on a home page, but you're not sure how to get started at all, you can use this template, and it's already linked. What you would do is you would just come in and click edit, change the name to your name, change the class to your class name, and then enter your contact information. If you wanted to edit the pictures and add additional items, you absolutely can. This would just be a starting point if you're not sure where to start. So just want to make you aware, if this is your first webinar with me, that this is available in Commons. All right, so I'm in my sandbox. I'm going to go ahead and go to modules. And as you can see, I don't have anything in this course right now because it's just my sandbox and usually I use my testing videos course, but for today I'm gonna use this one. So I'm gonna hit the plus sign button and select assignment from the drop-down menu and new assignment, and I'm gonna give it a name. Because this is a demo course, I'm actually just gonna call it very frankly what it is. This is an example Google Doc Cloud assignment. You would obviously call it whatever the actual name of the assignment is. And again, if at any point you need me to slow down or repeat steps, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question. You can also use the chat. I'm monitoring that as well. All right, so I made the assignment, but there's nothing in it yet. So I'm going to click directly on the name of the assignment, and that's going to open it. And then I'm going to click on edit. Now, this differs from a regular assignment. In a regular online assignment, I put my content here. But for a Google Cloud assignment, I do not. So I can actually leave this blank if I want, or I can put in instructions. All right, now I'm gonna come down to my point values and set all of that. I'm gonna go ahead and just give it 100 points because 100 points is easy. I like to display my grades as percent so that it looks more like a traditional grade book. And this is the key, guys. This right here is the key. On submission type, you need to pick external tool. Okay? So on submission type, you're going to pick external tool and then hit find. It's going to give you some different options. We're going to pick Google Docs Cloud assignment. So I'm going to click that, and that is going to now search my Google Drive. Okay. So here's the one that I want, and then I'm going to say submit, which, by the way, I could do a regular search. I happen to have already moved this to the home page of my Drive, so it'd be easy for me to find, but I can search my folders and I can search by title. But in this case, it was right here. So I'm going to click submit and then select. Then I come down and continue. Who is this? Am I assigning this to? When is it due? Let's say it's due on the 9th. It's available from today until the 13th, whatever. And then I'm going to hit save and publish. That's all there is to it. Now, when my students come in, and I'll know I did it right because I'll get this little note right here. When my students go in, they will get their own copy of this assignment. They cannot edit mine. So now they can come in and they can actually type it in directly in Canvas, or they can click on the link and open it up in a new tab. In just a second, I'll show you what the student view looks like on this so that you can see what your students will see. Test student in Canvas will not show you what this looks like because it won't connect to a Google Drive. So as long as you see this little message, you did it correctly, okay? If you see that message, you're good to go. Your kids will get the right thing. They're good, just so you know. All right, so that is what it will look like if you do a doc. I'm gonna go back to modules and I'm gonna do the same thing, this time with slide. Before I go on, does anybody have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go back to my module. I'm just gonna repeat the exact same steps. So I hit the plus sign, I selected assignment from the dropdown, I said new assignment. This one is example Google Slide Cloud assignment. I'm gonna add the item. I'm gonna click on the name. I'm gonna click edit. Up here, I don't need to do anything unless I have specific instructions. If not, I can leave that blank. I'm going to set my point value. Again, this is just personal preference. I like to make it percentage. Key, submission type. Change that to external tool. Hit find. Select Google Docs Cloud assignment. Search your drive. This is the one I want. Rainbow Unicorn Drag to Solve. Submit. Select. Now, I can say load this tool in a new tab. That is not a bad idea because it does come a little small. So I'll show you what that'll look like. I'm going to go ahead and say this. On the doc one, I did not click this box. So that way when we go to student view, you can see the difference between loading in a new tab and not, okay? I'm assigning to everyone. It's due on the 9th. It's available from today until the 13th. Again, just those same settings. And I'm going to hit save and publish. And I know I did it right. See, I got a different message here. This tool needs to be loaded in a new browser window. When I click that, there's my note that I created a Google assignment external tool. So see, I'll still know that I did it right because I get this message, okay? If you don't see that message, something went wrong and it didn't embed correctly, okay? All right. So I'm gonna close this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into Safari. Actually, hang on, I'm gonna do something real quick. Okay, sorry, I hadn't added my, so we have that DLF account that we have That's our test student account. So I'm in Safari, and I'm actually going to log in as DLF, which this is just something I can do because I have that second email account. You guys won't have this option because you only have your own account. But I want you to see what this will look like for your students. So that's why I'm doing this.
Misty, I don't think you've shared Safari with us, so right now
Oh,
we don't see it.
okay. How about now?
Yeah, we got it now.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you, Kaylee. Okay, so basically that was all stuff you didn't need to see anyway. I logged in like normal, just like you guys do, but I'm actually DLF versus, you can see I don't have a profile picture. Okay, so I need to find my dashboard.
Now, Misty, are we able to also look under settings under student view and see this?
You normally under student view, you can see most things. In this case, you would see it, but you wouldn't be able to see the actual assignment. I'm going to show you what it looks like on regular student view. Can y'all see both screens now? Like, are we back in my Chrome browser?
Yes.
Okay. So normal student view is this with the pink banner around it. Okay. And then I go to modules, and here's those two assignments that I just made. Because this is wanting me to connect my Google Drive, I'm not going to be able to see it because Canvas doesn't recognize that this isn't my Google Drive because I'm test student right now. So that's why it's hard for you guys to test this. So that's why I want you to see the student view, just so you know what your kids will see. You could always have a teacher like enroll in your class as a student and test it for you if you wanted to, or if you had a kiddo that you trusted, you could have them test it for you first as well. Okay, so back to Safari. So again, in this case, I'm actually logged in as DLF. So I'm actually logged in as a student. Okay. So you can see it's loading, and I do have to authorize my Google Drive, but I have to authorize the DLF one. And again, don't worry about this part, but this is what it would look like for your students. So there's the submit button, and then here's the doc. This is my own copy. Any changes I'm making here is not impacting the original doc. This copy belongs to Digital Learning Services. And any changes they make here are also reflected in their drive. Okay, so if they wanted to, they can also click here and open it up in a new tab. And you can see it's live. So any changes I make, there's the name that I just put in. Sorry, my internet is going slow all of a sudden. And then if I come back here, you can see that those changes are instantaneous, okay? So any changes that they make over here, they can type in their answers, and then they can just close this window and then hit submit back in Canvas. Sorry, my internet is not being nice right now. I apologize. Patiently wait for this to load. Don't you guys love technology? When you're in the middle of a demo and it stops working, it's awesome. Okay, so now I can hit submit. And it just turned it in. You can see I got my timestamp for when I submitted. So there's my assignment. And then the same thing for my Google slide. Remember this one, I did say open in a new window. Your kids won't have to do this every time. It's just because I'm working in a different format. Once your kids authorize, they'll be fine. It occasionally resets, but it shouldn't happen very often. So there again, there's the slide. This is my own copy. This is saved to Digital Learning's Drive, and any changes that are made here will not impact the original one. So it's the same as a forced copy. And again, this one's a click and drag. And then submit right there. And then they get their timestamp. They can close this window. And now they can see that both of their assignments have been submitted. I'm going to close that. I'm going to come back here. And I can see that my student has submitted their assignments right here. And there's the submission. Okay. All right, questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So with the assignments that we created from last school year that we're just going to copy over for this school year, since those are also Google Docs and presentations, would I just go in and edit and then select Google Cloud, I guess, as the external?
Yes,
Like,
if
do
you
I have
wanted
to redo all that, or just?
if you wanted to, Ebony, you can. You could just go in and adjust the submission type from online to Google Cloud. You'd have to reattach it.
Right. Okay.
But if you already have it set up, you can still do the online assignment. This is just, I was trying to make sure you guys know that this is basically the Google Classroom equivalent of the forced copy.
Right.
But if you had been using Classroom, like Kaylee, I know you'd been using Classroom, so that you guys didn't feel like you didn't have that option in Canvas. I also personally, I like the Google Cloud assignment because it gives them their own copy and they can submit it right there within the window. But it still saves to their drive as well.
And with this option, they wouldn't have to remember to give us permission to view the document, right?
Yeah, there's no
amazing.
Yeah, there's
That cuts off half of my time right there.
Yes, there's no emails. There's no, oops, I didn't give you the right share setting. There's no, 250 notification emails because they shared it with you. It's all done directly through Canvas.
Awesome.
And what it'll do in their drive is it'll make a folder that says Little Elm, just like Google Classroom did, and then it'll say the name of their class and all their work will be underneath there. So if they do need to go back and edit the actual document, and by the way, you'll notice that when it was submitted, it turned it into a PDF. So you're getting, when they submit, you're getting what it looks like at the time of their submission. So if they go back and make changes, they have to resubmit.
Okay.
Which some people like that because then you're getting an accurate view of what they turned in on time. I know that had been a concern for some people, was that, like, with a link, the students could go back and continue editing it after the due date, perhaps, if you hadn't gotten around to grading it. This is going to be more firm, more permanent, because it's going to be basically a snapshot of what was submitted at that time.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
So this was a very narrow focus today, but I wanted you guys to have a good understanding of this because I think it's a really useful feature.
Misty, if they resubmit, will I be able to see both submissions?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So
You'll get
it
a
won't
drop-down.
update it. Okay.
What?
It won't just update the same submission.
Let me see if I can find one. Basically, you'll have a drop down and it'll say, like, this is not the most recent submission, or you'll get a note kind of like that, and there'll be a drop down and you can say use the same grade, or you can put a new grade in. And it would say that was not the most recent submission, and it timestamps it. So you'd also know when they turned it in. And if it's turned in late, it will color code it. So you'll know that as well. So let me go back to my sandbox. Okay. All right. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I have a quick question, please. They can only submit for the window where it's open until it's when it's closed, right?
They have to submit through Canvas, so they cannot submit like through Drive.
Okay. So if I say, for instance, it's due, let's say until it's due September 1st, but it's open until September 3rd, they cannot submit after September 3rd.
After September 3rd, it will lock, and they
Okay.
can't submit anymore. Yes.
If they change it in their Google Drive, it's not going to show in Canvas.
No, because the submission date will be locked. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. It was very valuable information.
Yes, thank you for being here. I know you're a new hire, so I appreciate you being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you. And I find all the course also, the basic, the course that I have in Canvas, very informative. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So yes, that was a very good question, guys. Somebody had asked me about that too, with the grading policy and things like that. You can make that available for as long as you want. So if you wanted to, you could have it due at a certain date, but make it available for the entire 9 weeks so that students could come back and do it at any time. Or you could follow like the letter of the grading policy, and if that's 3-day window, whatever, you have that leeway to adjust those due dates to make it work for you. But remember that due date and available date are different unless you make them the same. So that's what, yeah, that's a good question.
You know, I know it's not, one more question, please.
That's okay.
It's not the subject of today, but for it's open, until it's open, can we change the grading and set up, like, for instance, it conducts student like 5 points every day late with a minimum of 50, for instance? We can change,
I believe that is set up where you have that level of control in your grade book.
okay.
It is not something I push out globally. You'd have to look at your own individual gradebook settings.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we can change it for the easy grade, the one that can be graded automatically?
Yes.
We can change and put it, okay.
That would be that check in your gradebook settings. You should be able to set that up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, any other questions, guys?
This is going to be really helpful. Thank you, Misty.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. This is, like I said, this one was a faster one because the topic was pretty narrow, but I think it's a good one to attend. Like, I wish I'd remembered to send a reminder out because this is a good one to attend. I will be making sure to send the recording out. So if you have teammates who you know are concerned, let them know about this, and if they weren't enrolled, let me know, and I can send them this recording. But this is also in our course as well. But I know sometimes it helps to even just see it one more time, like going through the steps like this. So all right, guys, well, if there are no other questions, I won't keep you. I will get your credit marked in Eduphoria and Strive for you for being here today. So I appreciate you giving up some of your summer and joining me today. And as always, if after today you have questions, just send me an email and I'll get right back to you and help you as best I can.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Miss.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You too.
Yeah.
I've never seen something like this.
Hold on, I need to close.